In a city known for self-expression, where culture lives in the streets just as much as in the galleries, faces have purpose.
I drew out the face, and then I'll do a painted background. Every painting has a story.
Stories of survival, pride, history, written in the lines of a smile or the weight behind a pair of eyes.
Look at somebody who's crying like, what was that person doing? Why is this person so happy? I don't want it just to be pictures of just a static face. I want it to really tell a story and kind of take on a little journey.
For Bobby D'Andre, portrait art isn't about fame or galleries, it's about seeing people.
Their thought process is through my pencil. I try to find people that represent everyone. So I have old, young, men, women, all these different people, and different expressions, different points in their lives.
Born and raised in New Orleans, he didn't chase art from the start. No formal training, no roadmap, just curiosity and a single decision to try. He began by drawing faces, then came something more: color, emotion, and a story. And now it's become part of his family story as well.
The artists around here inspire me, and we're trying to inspire my daughter to be more of an artist. She's actually drawn something on every one of my paintings, a little mark.
After years of creating quietly from home, Bobby's portraits are now being shared with the public, one face at a time.
I think it's never too late to start any kind of hobby or passion. So yeah, definitely the city is, it's in my soul. It made me who I am, and definitely a lot of influence.
Saying it's never too late to pick up a pencil or a brush.
A lot of times people will see my art and be like, it looks like a friend of mine, it looks like this person, it looks like that person. Pencil face, and it's usually a painted background, either solid color or in some of these as kind of like a famous background.
With the public.
Just follow your passions and dreams, and luckily I had people around me to motivate me, like my wife and my daughter. So it's just find somebody who believes in you and find a passion and go for it.
Do you want to show me around?
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's upstairs.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. Feel free to ask questions, Zach.
So just tell me what the process is while you're doing this. Yeah, so what I'm doing right now is just establishing a background. So I have the face, and I always do a pencil face. So I drew out the face, and then I'll do a painted background. Usually what I'll try to do is a lot of texture in the background. So right now I'm just kind of laying a foundation of yellow. And what I'll do later on is I'll go back and go over it again with usually a lighter shade, so that it's not just solid color yellow and a little bit of texture and a little bit of depth. I find a lot of times with the darker images that if I do a lighter color, whether it's like a white or an off-white, it really gives it more of a dimension, kind of reflecting off that dark with the lighter color background.
So when you do the faces, that's all you doing it, by hand
Yeah.
and pencil? How long does that usually take you?
So this one actually flew by. So this one I finished it in 2 hours, and then I went back and made little details, but it actually went by really quick. Sometimes they take forever to do, but this one, like I said, it was more about 2 hours. Started on a Saturday morning and then finished on Saturday evening. Yeah, this one was really quick. It's Edgar Allan Poe, and the reason I like this one is it's Edgar Allan Poe, but a lot of people don't know what Edgar Allan Poe looks like. So it's kind of just an older face or an old time face, and a lot of people can say, hey, that looks like blah 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 blah. But if you do know who Edgar Allan Poe is, you're like, oh yeah, it's Edgar Allan Poe. But a lot of times people will see my art and be like, it looks like a friend of mine. It looks like this.
I'm doing soon?
Um,
From like New Orleans?
Not really. I got a few of them I want to finish up first. I don't have anybody or something in mind. Actually, I mean, I want to do. I have some not New Orleans in mind, but I would like to get more New Orleans artists. I do have some friends that have been asking me, and kids and different things, but nobody famous in New Orleans or anything like that just yet. Hopefully, with this show coming up in November, I'll have a lot more people that are interested in getting something done.
And how long does it usually take to finish a whole painting?
A whole painting that doesn't have a really fancy background, I'd say maybe 6 hours I can get it done. If the background is very elaborate, like this one I painted of my daughter when she's actually eating goldfish with sunglasses on. That one took a very long time. That one took me a couple weeks. But if it's not an elaborate background, it's very easy. I could probably knock it out in about 6 to 8 hours.
Okay. So I was thinking like Lil Wayne would be a good one.
Yeah, I have a Lil Wayne that so what I started doing was like a list of all these different things.
Yeah.
You know, one was like Anthony Davis with the Frida Kahlo
Oh, yeah.
background, and but it's like, I don't know, there's so much. So at the same time, I don't want to be like that kind of the artist where people are like, I don't want to be, I'm trying to think of the word. I'd rather be more unique than some of the other stuff that people are doing. But it kind of is some famous people.
Yeah.
I don't know, we'll get there eventually, I guess.
But yeah, the unique ones are, you wouldn't think about maybe having that in your home until you see it, and then you're like, oh, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. That's why I try to make dimensions with different backgrounds and different things also. So it's not just the famous person with a blank background. It's an iconic picture with an iconic background. It's kind of like what I like to do. So like I said, right here, what I'm really just doing is just. I'm using acrylic, which I like using oil, but right now I'm using acrylic because the show is in 3 weeks. So I'm using acrylic because I want to make sure it can dry in time and I get a really nice layer effect. So I'm not going to just paint this once and be finished with it. I'm going to let this dry and come back and do some more. Where if I used oil, and I keep layering it, I would get I would worry that I wouldn't be finished and have it how I like it in time for the show. If it was
How many are you bringing to the gallery?
I'm not sure. So originally it was supposed to just be me by myself for the show, but then she had a building issue, so she was closed for a few months this summer. So there will be another artist there as well. So I'm not sure how many I'm going to have. I'm hoping to have at least 15, but I'm not sure if she's going to want more or less because it is a shared space now with another artist because her building was closed. So it's the 3800 block of Magazine, the Degas Gallery. She was at the 3900 block, then that building was sold, so she moved down to the next block.
And you haven't sold any before, or?
I've had offers to sell, and right now I felt I was in that position where I was still coming up. So when people offered to buy, I was actually giving them out, almost with a loaner. So I do have a lot of paintings at people's houses, but I have yet to take anyone's money for my paintings. I'm looking forward to actually selling my first one, hopefully at the show. but I do have several paintings at people's houses right now. So kind of just getting the exposure, learning learning how to do everything, getting a little more experience before I felt comfortable to start selling them. I mean, that's the end goal, right? Is to eventually be able to leave my tech job and start painting full time.
Yeah, but it takes you, that quickly, you can really mass produce some.
Yeah. And then that one right there is actually, it's like, this one right here is actually, it's a lot bigger than the original, and it's in somebody's house.
Oh, really?
So I was like, hey, I don't want to lose it, so I did a print of the painting.
Oh, nice.
So I think that's what I'm gonna do, is when I start selling them, I would like to do prints, that way I still have them, just different sizes, and, I don't need to.
Yeah, because you can sell it for cheaper with the print.
But even, also, I have one.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at it. I mean, each one of them, it's a lot of mindfulness and purposeness, very purposeful. So I don't want to just lose them. So some of them I really like, even though I'm planning on selling them, still don't want to lose them.
Yeah.
So even if I do a print, at least I'll still have my own copy of it.
All right, I think I'm